going to talk about storytelling in hip-hop, the Storytellers.
Kick ass!
Hey, what's good, family, and welcome back to Grown Man Bars. I'm your man, Chad, resident rap nerd, and that man beside me is the only man to win Gen X's OG of the Year, a record 13 times, including 6 years in a row. Big Absoloot, what's good, my brother?
What's going down, family? Let's get it.
This is Grown Man Bars, two Generation X hip-hop heads talking Generation X rap because that's the best rap there is, and if you don't like that, you just don't like reality. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe while you're here, and don't forget we are also wherever you get your podcast, so go like, subscribe, comment, and whatever else you can do on those, and do all that stuff because it really helps out. BA, I want to start off, man. This weekend I got to give a big shout out. I taught a workshop at Black Writers Weekend in Atlanta with the AAMBC, and I gotta say, man, that is always one of the most fun conferences that I ever go to, man.
Yeah, I know you like going to that. It's right. It's like your own personal invite to the cookout. Like it's like you get to go. I know you like that.
It's because, man, that is one of the conferences. It's the one conference where everybody is like welcoming and happy to see you, and that doesn't happen at a lot of conferences, man. So I really appreciate that. So big shout out to Phoenix Williams and all the folks that I got to kick it with. And if you are a creative around the Atlanta area, that is a place for you to check in on. It's called Black Writers Weekend. It is for writers, entertainers, voice actors, filmmakers. There are all kinds of workshops for people who are already doing it. So if you're in that area, go check them out next year. And now we'll move on to, we're going to talk about storytelling in hip hop, storytelling in rap music, the Storytellers. But I want to start with a question for you, BA. What happened to the story in hip hop?
You mean what happened to us painting vivid photos and pictures of words, and you could be like, dang, like I can see that as video. First of all, there's no video, right? I mean, there are YouTube clips and content, but there's no more videos. There's no more stories to tell. Nobody is putting together. I mean, first, I guess to tell a complete story, you might have to have a song that's longer than a minute 17. But I think that's just it. I think it's just the way the rhyme is constructed now. It's never constructed for a story. It's just constructed to just, I got this. This is hot. I'm gonna say this line, and I'm gonna say this line, and they don't have to be in the same league. Hell, they don't even got to be in the same sport. I'm just going to say these two lines because I like them. And now that's the song.
It is hard to tell a story with one verse, a bridge, and a hook.
It's a run-on sentence. Like it ain't a complete story by no.
It's stream of consciousness. When we talk about storytelling, there is the golden era of rap storytelling that fits into the golden era of rap in general. And they're always, the names that we name. Right. We are not going to put every storyteller on this list. We're going to go through in the first section, we'll go through the big name storytellers that everybody mentions, and then some underrated guys later on. But everybody's not going to be on this list, so don't be mad if your guy's not on this list. Put them down in the comments and let us know who they are. So we can start with probably the most obvious name that everybody's going to want to hear. And we're going to bring up these artists. We'll talk about one or two of their best storytelling songs and just reminisce a little bit. We're going to start with the most obvious name. BA, who would the most obvious name be if we want to start talking about storytelling rappers from the golden era?
Wait, let me find my camera. Let me get my eye covered. You see my jewels? Let me get my eye covered. I believe the man that we're talking about is none other from across the pond with the eye patch. My man Slick to the Rick. The Rick, the ruler, period.
The ruler is back. So the one song that we picked, I wanted to pick one that I knew everybody would know so we could talk about. 1988, again, 1988, Children's Story. Now, I had this on the playlist. I put all these tracks on my playlist for the week so I could go over and over them. And I kept hearing another song that sampled that, that took that very sample. And I kept thinking it was about to be an R&B track every time it came on.
And it was not.
It made Rolling Stone's 100 Best Rap Songs. and they called it a genius breakdown. Tell me what was so special about Children's Story.
Slick Rick had this knack. He, to me, again, was a slick talker, but he was a slick talker that grabbed you in the first 3-4 segments of a bar. And you was like, because you could never really tell how he was going to get to that. But the thing about Children's Story that was memorable is it was just that. It was a children's story. It was about a kid growing up in a place that made some bad decisions. But he didn't just drop you off and let you fill in the blanks. He gave you the story. That's what he did. That made him do this. That led him to this. This was a consequence here. He was forced to do this. This is what happened. And if you do the things he did, this is what happened. It's genius. It was all gift wrapped. It was tied in a bow. It was amazing.
Let me ask you a question about Slick Rick when we're on storytelling. So when we talk about best storytellers in rap, his name gets thrown out first by a ton of people in the culture. Do you think that's because Slick Rick truly is like far and away the best storyteller in rap? Or do you think he was the best storyteller in rap for a long time? And that's just kind of the name that still sticks in our heads for us Gen Xers.
A little of both, to be honest. A little of both. I think what Slick Rick did was groundbreaking. And I say groundbreaking because there were a lot of artists in the 80s. That's how we rap. Like, that's how you were taught to pen something, was a complete thought. I want to say it was KRS who once said, a good rhyme, or it might have been Big Daddy, a good rhyme is one complete breath. Like you inhale and you exhale. You know what I'm saying? So it's one complete breath. Slick Rick was able to give you rhymes that if there was no such thing as video, you could picture everything that happened. And he was one of the best to do that. Imagery with artistry makes a great storyteller, and he did that far and away. Now, he wasn't the only one, but he was top notch in his time, and because he was so good at it in his time, it makes him still relevant when you talk about storytelling today.
Probably the second name that people bring up when we talk about storytellers in rap, same era, but about 6 years later, eight years later in this case for the songs that we picked. But Mr. Nasir Jones. Ooh. So the two songs I want to talk about are Undying Love and I Gave You Power. Now this first one, Undying Love, I do love this song. This is a complete story, and there's a tone to it that, like, he masters the tone on this one. Like, because he's not overly angry about what he found when he finds his wifey, cheating on him. That's the premise. He's not overly angry when he finds it. He's just kind of like, I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
And he calls up his homeboy and they do what they have to do.
Gotta handle business.
But he tells it in such a way that gives you every element of the story. Like how he describes what the apartment looks like when he first walked into the apartment. You got what was going on at the same time he got it. I mean, he's giving you clues as that the back door was unlocked. He's giving you clues anyway, but he leads you there. But it's not like he's not coming from out of nowhere. Like he's kind of holding your hand when he's walking you through this picture.
Yeah. That's a good way to put that.
So I like this one. I Gave You Power. I didn't like it as much just because the concept of this is a personal thing. I don't like writers writing from the concept of things that aren't human. Like, I don't like somebody pretending to be something that's not a human. In this case, he's pretending to be, for YouTube purposes, a pew-pew. I get the idea behind it. That one just it wasn't from me. So what'd you think about Undying Love and I Gave You Power?
It's funny that you picked Undying Love. Undying Love, to me, the reason why I felt like Undying Love was so good is because Undying Love is not a hip-hop song. Undying Love is an R&B song that happened to be delivered by a hip-hop artist. Now, I say that loosely, but if you've ever heard it, then you understand where I'm coming from. You hit the nail on the head when you was like, he's not coming from a place of anger. He wasn't. He was hurt. That's hurt. That's what hurt men do. That's when you clench your chest. That's what hurt men do. So he came from a place of hurt. I'm with you also with I gave you power. I give people a little leeway on when they do things like that in hip hop. Like I'm going to pretend to be this and try to write from a third person standpoint.
It's hard.
It's very difficult, right? The problem is that you and I have joked about this when we listen to battle rap. Like, sometimes your scheme is so intricate that I miss everything you're saying because I'm too busy trying to figure out what you're talking about. And I feel like a lot of times you figure out that he's talking about what he's talking about or what he's claiming to be in the song, but you get lost in the story somehow. Like, wait a minute, like, did you not? Is somebody shit? Like, what's happening to you? Like, it's just a lot of things going on. I am fully prepared for the 152 million real Nas fans to tell me how I ain't got it. I get that. It wasn't for me. And I'm okay with it not being for me. I still think it's a good song. I'm just saying, I would have just rather you said it from a first person standpoint, even if the story wasn't about you, that you was a man going through all of that, like you kind of did on Undying Love. It works.
Yeah, just kind of make it a metaphor instead of the personification
Correct.
thing. I'm thinking about Nas's place as a storyteller in rap.
Oh, they finna murder you. I know where you finna go with this already. You're about to get massacred. I'm sure gonna miss you.
I think Nas is properly rated as one of the best MCs to ever do it. Nas's lyrical skill is unquestionable, and I want to get all of that out of the way because both things can be true at the same
Agreed.
time. He can be an absolute monster who is a god tier rapper, top 5 if you want to say that. You can put him top 3 if you want to, and I'm not going to give you a whole ton of argument. But I do think that whenever Nas's name pops up in any category, people are like, oh yeah, it's Nas. Like storytelling, Nas. Lyricism, Nas. You know, whatever it is, multi-syllabic schemes, Nas. Like, it just feels like Nas is the default. Like, if you're on Jeopardy and you don't know the answer, but it's a rap question, just say Nas and you'll probably get it right.
Are you trying to say that Nas being the answer to rap was like most 80s and 90s babies in school when there was a Black History question? It was always Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. That's always just Martin Luther King. Who invented Martin Luther King? That's all.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. What do you feel? Where do you think Nas stands among storytellers?
Now, I remember when we talked about this. I too am going to get a little flack from the Nas fans, but not nearly as much as you're gonna get. And I'm gonna take some of the heat for you. I can go with you.
I also blasted Jay-Z.
You're gonna get
New York.
New York is not happy with you today, sir. Let me be clear with that.
When I go out to the parking lot of the condos tomorrow, there's gonna be 50
you're gonna have
with
butter Tims everywhere.
butter Tims and leather coats.
They're gonna be in the triple fat gooses and the butter Tims everywhere, son. Be ready.
95 degrees.
No, I mean, I agree. And I think some of this is on us. I think we have diminished his greatness by trying to forcibly keep him great in any and every hip hop conversation. Like, it's okay if one of the answers to great is something is not Nas. Like, it's okay for that. Because the only thing people ever give you is album sales. Like, people always step back to albums. They be like, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nah, he ain't go triple platinum because y'all ain't really feel him like that. Y'all ain't, you know what I'm saying? But people get that. But I agree with you. I believe we have, and I would never say overhyped, because Nasir Jones earned every lyrical credit we've ever given him. But I do believe I'll use the term over defaulted. I know it's not a real term. I don't need any of you English scholars to get on me. But I think we've used him as a scapegoat, as a default for so many things. And some of that is on us in our inability to get out of our own way in the growth of hip hop. I've been accused of this many a times as a golden era guy, where I can't see and or hear anybody or anything being better than anybody or anything in the golden era.
Yeah, that's
if
fair.
if you come at me about the greatest of all times and it's not out the golden era, I won't listen to you. And the reason why I won't listen to you is because they still aren't alive. So when you start talking to me about who's the one now, then that's a decade, that's a 10-year span. We can have lots of conversations. Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Nicki. We can have lots of conversations in the 10-year span. Come on, right? If you go generational talent, that's 30 years. You're still outside of what I consider my generation. We can have that conversation. M, J, Weezy, we can still have that conversation all day, every day. But I believe that we've over-romanticized Nas in a lot of different formats, that it's just because we don't want to grow musically. We want to be stuck somewhere.
All right, so I'm gonna bring up one that really, when I dug into this catalog, because we've talked before that you and I both aren't huge Wu-Tang fans, but Ghostface Killah, I listened to Shaky Dog and All That I Got Is You. Those were the two that we listened to, and I gotta say, man, Shaky Dog and even All That I Got Is You, I really like Ghostface style because his storytelling style is a little more poetic to me. And I mean it in the sense that he operates on fragments.
Yeah.
Like he gives you a fragment here and then a fragment there and then a fragment there and then a fragment here, but they come together to give you a complete picture. Like he's going to bounce around and tell you he's going to be over here 1 second and then give you something over here the next. But when you put it all together, it makes a great picture. And that is that's a talent to me, to be able to be that efficient with just the fragments that you use and still paint a picture like that. That is a style that I appreciate more so than, even the older, simpler style of storytelling.
Ghostface is hard for me. He's hard for me only from the standpoint is his delivery gets to me sometimes. It just does, and I'm being honest. I'm not taking away from him. I'm talking about personal preference. I'm here for what you're saying, because if you can get past that, Ghostface Killah writes very spoken word poetry to music to me. He gives you imagery, but he does it in broken pieces. He gives it to you like, here's a mirror. I'm gonna shatter the mirror. Here's all the pieces. And once you put it back together, you see what I'm trying to tell you. But you gotta, as a listener, you gotta put the pieces back together.
Yeah, and that's creative as fuck. Not a lot of people can do that.
And that's what frustrates me about him, is because I respect how he does that. It bothers me to listen to him do that, if that makes sense.
Hey, so we'll move on to the last one. And I'm going to let you introduce this last one. The last one of the names that everybody talks about in storytelling rappers. I happen to know that you're a fan of this MC. B.A., who are we talking about?
O'Shea Jackson. None other than Ice Cubicle. Look here, in my opinion, this is just the OG, just me. I believe he is the best storyteller in hip-hop. If not 1A, he could be 1B. And the reason why I say that is all the songs that you listed are great examples. But if you listen to most of his post-NWA work, right? I mean, you can listen to songs like A Bitch Is a Bitch, pardon my lingo. That's a story. But if you listen to How to Survive in South Central, Once Upon a Time in the Projects, Ghetto Vet, Greed, if you listen to Us, if you listen to Colorblind, if you listen to most of the songs on this dude's catalog, there is no guesswork in what he's talking about, whom he's talking about, the content. It's all laid out. Every song he spits is an F. Gary Gray movie, in my opinion. Every one of them.
And I'm going to tell you, man, Ghetto Vet is probably my favorite Ice Cube song. Number one, I love just the creativity of it, the message that he puts together about life in the ghetto like that, about living that banging life. But also, that beat is hard as January Lord. That beat is one of the hardest beats. I could, man, there ain't nothing you can't. That's one of those beats you can do anything to. It don't matter what you do. That beat is hard. But I'm with you on that, man. All right, so those are the heavyweights. I want to talk about 3 that are underrated. And one of them is criminally underrated, and I'm gonna beat on this table and make my camera shake when we get to him. But let's start with one of the newer ones, because I actually like what this young man does. He's not that much younger than me, but I'm still gonna call him that. J. Cole. J. Cole, since, I want to let everybody know, we Generation X, but we'll spread the love around when you're good at what you do.
He is good at what he does.
I picked Lost Ones and Lights, Please. Lights, Please is another one. I think that's one of my favorite Cole songs. The way he tells his stories, I think what sticks out to me is why he's so good is his honesty.
Yeah, I could go with
I
that.
think he is just so honest in his stories. Like, he will tell you, I wanted to cry. Like, he will go through all of his emotions. He adds emotions to his stories, I think, that other rappers don't. When they're adding scenic detail, he's telling you how things feel.
Yeah.
And I think that is what makes it easier to relate to what Cole does. I mean, those aren't his only 2, because, we've said Cole is a 90s throwback as a writer. Like, Cole is definitely influenced by the golden era, and it shows in everything he does. And I truly hope he doesn't retire like he says that he wants to. But
I'm of the different brain. I hope he does retire, because I don't think his own generation deserves him. That's just how I feel, right? I feel like that his own generation has allowed so many non-technically lyrical things to overshadow what he does as an artist. And it's criminal. It's as criminal as how our era sometimes, overshadows a Mos Def or Talib Kweli. The artistry, when you start getting away from the rapper and you start getting into the artistry, and you start removing things like streams and say, who cares? How many people in his actual class can out rap him?
yeah, and let's be clear, artists don't make art to sell.
No, let's think about this. We all love Andre 3000. We all do. Everybody loves 3 Sack. But you can't lie to yourself. On Speaker Box, you can't lie and say there's a couple tracks on there that you like. I mean, how you put that together was dope, but what you talking about? What you talking about? And
there are times with 3K when you're like, somebody should have been in the studio to say no.
Where are those people? Like the people who are like,
yeah, where was the Andre Harrell to go, hold on, whoa.
Where's the Quentin Tarantino, Jamie? Where is that?
Okay, Andre, what the fuck was that?
But I sit alone in my 4-cornered room, staring at camp. He greets his father with his hand. These are iconic lines for this next guy. This man, if I said Ice Cube is a 1A, 1B, with this guy, he's the other edge of that coin, and you can put him 1A or 1, you can put him where you want to, but 1, he must be. None other than Scarface himself, man. You normally come to me, but this time I'm gonna defer to you. Talk to me about how you feel about Face.
I'm gonna say it straight up, and because I'm asking for all the heat today, I think Scarface is rap's best storyteller, and he's number 1 to me. And I've said this before, and I'll even give credit. I feel like Scarface in this way, and just this way, is like a Southern Nas, because Scarface is like the street reporter. I mean, he gets respect in the street in Texas. Scarface gets respect everywhere he goes. We've all heard the stories. We've heard nephew Tommy try to prank Scarface and see how that went. And see how that went. Like, he gets the respect, but I think for me, it's because he deals with mental health.
Yeah.
Like, he deals with paranoia. He deals with the mental health that comes with street life. Like, mine playing tricks on me, he's staring out his window because he's swearing, the ops are rolling up and down the street. He's scared to go to sleep. He's sleeping with his pew-pew. He's got all these, like, he's paranoid, and it's because the street life has done that to him. And nobody needs to tell anybody how good Seen a Man Die was. Because just that opening line, he greets his father with his hand.
Oh.
Rehabilitated slight. Glad to be the man's child. The world is different. I could do that forever. But that is what makes that man so special. It's because it's personal, it's passionate, and he's not afraid to say what's on his minds either. He's not afraid to say, I'm on my hands and my knees praying. Like, he is not afraid to be. It is 100% real, and it's 100% authentic. Yeah. And that's where those stories hit me so hard.
Faces it.
So I'll move you to the last one. And this was one that we've talked about him before. We actually did a short on why people are absolutely nuts for not giving this man more credit for all of his rap. When I started looking at the storytelling that he does, there was something about the storytelling that Pharoahe Monch does that might be a little bit more impressive in ways than everybody else we named. Because Pharoahe Monch does storytelling with multis. And I don't know if, for those of you out there who aren't rappers, telling a story is one thing. Telling a story with multisyllabic rhymes, with internal rhyme and external rhyme, that's a different beast, man. It's easy to rhyme day, say, hey, way when you're telling a story, but it's a lot harder to put that sound in one bar 8 different times. So I gotta give Monch credit for the pen when it comes to his stories, because he doesn't just tell stories, he's got lyrical stories.
Right.
How you feeling on Monch, man?
I think that's why he falls in the underrated, slept on, underappreciated, whatever category you want to put it in. I believe that's exactly why he falls in that category, because
you think people have to think too hard?
I was trying to do this without a swear or whatever, but when you listen to him, if you don't stop and go, wait, what? Like, he is what I like to call, and I'm gonna date myself, I don't care. You see the gray, like, I don't care. He is what you call a stop and rewind artist. Whatever digital format you want to do, he is somebody that you got to run that back. If he was a battle rapper, he would hear "say it again" like 72 times in a round. He would never get a round off, because he would have to say it again so many times for you to catch every bit of it. How he delivers bars are just as important to the story as the story in the bars he delivered. That's a bar. I hit y'all with that. But you gotta feel me with that. How he layers that in itself is a build of a story. It is a setup. And inside that is actual story. That's what's crazy. And I don't think enough people give this proud.
All right, that's it, y'all. We got Flick Rick, Nas, Ghostface, Ice Cube, Scarface, Pharoahe Monch, and J. Cole. Just a few of them. That is not a definitive list. Don't be angry. Let us know who your favorite storytellers are in rap. Who do you think is the best storyteller in rap? Put that down in the comments. And while you're putting stuff in the comments, go on and smash the like and subscribe, because you know we like to like and subscribe. We will be back with you next time. So for Grown Man Bars, I'm your man Chad. That's BA right there. And we'll catch y'all next time.